Welcome to the Streams of the Universe channel. I'm Ona. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscriptions, and for supporting and helping this channel. Now we are going to lay it out. The Celtic cross will tell us about you, what's on your heart, what's beneath your heart, what's on your mind, and what has happened to you. So that what you will have. In your head, what is it? Where are the cards? Something will happen on the doorstep very soon. How will it end? What the cards will show us, how it will end, what will bring peace to your heart, what will make you happy, what will make you happy, and how it will all come to a close. Comfort zone?
Eta.
Let's look at your reading. What's in your heart? In your heart, in your heart, in your heart. It could be about your health. There may also be a woman in your heart. Your actions are wise. Let's talk about it in a positive way first, because the snake can show both negative and positive things at the same time. You understand? So, what's in your heart is what tempts you. For example, you are preparing something, let's say, in a positive way. We all want to be healthy, really healthy, or we want to be with someone we like. That's what's in our heart, right? Exactly. For example, we like someone, we want to be with them. Or maybe we want to work with someone, and this tempts us. And we act on it. Usually, we start looking for information, and that's a positive thing. We become wiser, we study, we become flexible, we overcome obstacles, we change, we really transform ourselves. In general, we move forward, we act, we take action towards something that we really like. There's temptation here for all of us. We want to eat, we want to live, we want a beautiful home, a cozy home, a roof over our heads, money to travel and relax. And this always tempts us and pushes us toward change, toward wise decisions, toward some kind of transformation. It even sheds its skin. A snake can also show this, as if it's right on the heart. Yes, you have some woman, but she can also be an unusual lady in a good way. Yes, maybe a doctor, by the way. Or, well, there could be something negative. For example, a snake-like woman. Yes, poisonous, with a sting.
Um,
Let's try to reveal it in a positive way. Let's try in a positive way. What's in your heart? Look, the positive aspect of temptation is the devil. It's the material world in a positive sense. What came up was large sums of money. In your opinion, is it large sums of money or a person who is important to you? We all have important people. No matter what, yes, there are children, parents, I don't know, loved ones who are important, whatever they may be. It's important for us that they are with us, or in our opinion, it's something material and significant, not just a small amount of money, but, for example, a house or a large sum. It's important. Yes, it might be something material, maybe even the body itself. But look, yes. Here I ask myself, am I healthy? I ask my body, but how can I be without my body? We can't live or exist without it. It's important to us. Very important. Naturally, it makes us look for different ways around it, to transform ourselves. Yes, I mean, for example, we used to be one way, and now we've become completely different. Yes, like going to have surgery or joining a fitness club, starting to work out, or completely changing your diet. The material world. We feed on the material world, not the Holy Spirit, right? So here, material things are a plus, something big. Is that important to you? But on the negative side, of course, everything here falls under the devil. These are addictions, dependence on close people, maybe women, if we're talking about the negative side. Some very important, tough decision. Maybe someone isn't making any decisions, not taking any action. Or all the decisions are going against you, against. Well, again, the sword, a sharp tongue, information. Or someone is hiding it, really hiding it, slipping away. You feel some kind of danger from someone because you don't know any clear decisions. And it doesn't matter here, by the way, whether it's just a person or something bigger. It doesn't matter. It's like, look, the decisions are hidden. If you look at the sword, you can see there are owls sitting on it. These are secrets, some kind of mysteries. You'll discuss this with someone close to you, yes. Otherwise, it just won't work out. Yes, it's like some decisions are being made behind your back, ones that could cause harm. Well, something is pulling the rug out from under your feet. Something that could take away your finances or deprive you of someone. Well, it's a kind of unstable up and down state that pulls the rug out from under your feet, yes. That is, you don't know who might end up above you, right? Some kind of situation. That's what's in your heart. I don't know. I want to find out. That's what it's called. I don't know. I want to find out. Maybe it's just some kind of metaphor, like when you sense danger behind you, just like snakes themselves. They're ready to strike. I don't know. They feel some kind of vibrations, like people are somewhere over there, a crowd is coming from far away, and the snake is already prepared. Yes, it's ready to strike because it started feeling the vibrations of the ground, of matter, in advance. It doesn't know, but it's ready. Maybe it's like this card. It's just something metaphorical. I don't know. So yes, I need to be ready for something. It shows that deep in your heart, you feel some kind of danger. But at the same time, there's also wisdom here. So, if I see that I sense some danger might be approaching me, then I start looking for information in advance. I protect myself in advance. I look for karmic information. Karma means I calculate the consequences of my own actions. That's how I gather all the information. Yes, here is a person sitting, holding a falcon, which means he can rise higher. Even the hardest to reach information up there, I'll find everything out. I'll build myself a fence like this, yes, so that if anything, no one can cross my boundaries. So I'm always on some kind of karmic alert. And I'm always calculating how my actions will affect the future, what consequences they'll bring. Well, look, yes. I mean, I don't know how someone else will act, but just in case, I'll calculate dozens of possible moves and ways out. So, there's a story here where wisdom and analysis really develop. Well, yes, but it's a bit in a negative way, of course. It's like there's some kind of danger here, or major financial matters, or some very important people that make your mind stay flexible and smart. So, in general, it seems like there is some development happening, yes. Well, to be your own guardian, to protect yourself. To stay in harmony so that you have support. That is, not to lose that very ground. Well, that devil is the earthly material world. If we lose the ground, meaning our body, our loved ones, we will fall into disharmony, yes, into, well, the whole world will start to collapse, yes, we will become strongly dependent. Here, it's like you're calculating how to protect yourself or your loved ones, or significant assets, something important to you. Who are you? Wow, you make up some rules and laws. So who are you? The Tower. This is a person with certain rules. You have already developed certain rules in your life that you live by. You try not to break them. Don't let people who break your rules into your life. Still, the question is, who are you? The tower. That means you have a code of rules. A code of rules. And when people with different laws have no right, well, you won't let them onto your territory. But of course, you also live somewhere, in some country which also has rules. Certain laws. And you know them. But maybe also, look, your home is like a hospital. But that's only if you have some health issues. If you have any illnesses, then you already know all the rules. And you already have, let's say, jars with some medicines. Well, for example, because it feels like an institution. So at home, you have everything organized on the shelves, according to the rules. It reminds me of a barracks. It's not necessarily uncomfortable. I mean, there are certain rules. For example, no snake can crawl in there. Because you have rules there. Some kind of checklist, so you wouldn't even say your address. But you are also in a country where there are established laws. And you keep watching out for that all the time. You probably even have some kind of feeling of danger about it. Like how everything in the world is changing, the rules and laws are changing, and how will they affect my property? My property. Here, property is clearly very important. 4. So that it matches somehow. In general, I would say that no one sees how you might be worrying and feeling nervous. Because yes, it seems like you're ready to act at the same time. And you know the laws of the place where you live. Or you know the rules of some important people. Yes, you know their rules. You are ready to act. And you keep track of changes all the time. Because, look, worries come from not knowing. I don't know what rules another person has, right? I have my own rules, but what about another person? And maybe that person has completely opposite rules, right? And that could start a kind of war between us. That's it! You probably come across as a bit dry, I guess. But at least there are some rules to live by. Also, you look like you have a feeling that something might shake what you've been building for a long, long time. Because of certain rules of life. But what could be shaken? Well, for example, it's easiest to say health, right? Health has changed. Now I work under different rules. I live by different rules. Something else, yes. Something fundamental can change. And it seems like you really don't want that. But what about the unconscious? That's inside you. Some kind of news. News that... See, I'm telling you, it's like you don't know all the news yet. Maybe there are just too many different news stories. You want to clarify it. You're studying a lot right now. Maybe you're even reading some books. It's all still about getting clarity. This is the 10 of Diamonds. Sometimes it's about clarifying things related to money. Well, just paperwork, yes. Clarifying documents. Finding out some information. Like a person is a book. I don't know him completely. That's why I want to clarify. And what are his rules? Does he fit? Do his rules match mine? A book is exactly something that needs to be studied and read. Maybe for someone it's unconscious. Look, this is unconscious. So consciously, yes, you want to be flexible. And you study. That's wisdom. You're doing that very consciously, yes. And you're ready to change. To change, in accordance with new circumstances. The book is very good. It's just that your mind is at its limit. Because sometimes, the tower represents the head. I'm the head. I'm the head of my, well, I don't know, my family, yeah. I know where everything is at home. I'm the head. But it turns out that something in the world changes, and I also have to rack my brains so that everything stays stable and calm for me. Because there is something above you, and there is something below you. Well, obviously, below you, you just shut yourselves off and don't let anyone in, right? Anyone with different rules that could destroy your foundations, your principles, your ways of life. Sometimes it even shows loneliness. I need to be alone to think everything through, to figure everything out. Wow. Well, on the other hand, who are you? You're like a tower people want to rely on. You know a lot. It's easy to approach you. Everything is clear with you, you know? Everything is clear, like in that barracks, yeah. But I'm not saying you're in a barracks. Each of us has our own home, our own life, our own rules and traditions. So if someone comes to you, you'll tell them everything. How, what, where, how. Well, it's easy right away, yeah. You know where everything is.
Oh,
Well, basically, yes. And there's something you don't know right now. Of course, that gives a certain feeling. And still, if there's danger, then maybe it's danger to women, or to you as women. Because after all, most often I'm shown a woman. Maybe I do have more girls on my channel after all. A man might feel danger from a woman, from women. Well, if you're a man, though there aren't many men watching, really. Boys, I read for girls, but turn it around for yourself, because you are also a significator. So, for a man, a woman might seem strange, dangerous, maybe even wise in some way, yes. But still, yes, mysterious. And for girls, yes, you might even feel danger from yourselves, yes. And from women, or because of a woman, some kind of danger. Worrying, for example, about a daughter, a granddaughter, I don't know. Someone might be worried about their mom. Let's look at what happened in the past. What will the past show us here? Well, good cards. Look, you had some expenses, spending. Karmic ones, very important for you. This card always means you gain experience. Some kind of experience. The Scythe card, it's a bit sharp, yes, a bit sharp. But it always gives either a positive or a negative experience, yes. Well, of course, it's negative if we had a negative experience, like losing money, for example. But rats, they never kill us. They just never kill. Or rat-like people, who wanted to use us, for example, but they wouldn't be able to kill us. And the scythe shows that you made some decisions abruptly. Abruptly, yes. Maybe it's to get rid of these people, but for now, I'm just reading the negative. Or get rid of some expenses, some spending. Well, for example, the snake came up here, so I still take into account that maybe for someone this also affects their health. Not necessarily in a serious way. Well, let's say you spent time, money, your lifetime. Maybe you weren't working, for example, and that's why you lost money, but it doesn't kill you. But you resolved some karmic situation. You solved something that was difficult for you. Maybe, yes, some rats could have deceived you. And you had to make a sudden decision to go harvest the crops, to work hard, to toil. Well, here in the past, something happened, yes. The scythe always gives experience. And it may even be negative, but it turns out positive. I mean, look, we found out that we urgently need to change something. We're losing our resources. It's actually good that we found out. Imagine if we hadn't found out. The rat doesn't kill us. But if we hadn't found out, it might have destroyed us completely. But here, you made some kind of decision in time. The scythe, first of all, is a decision, right? It's sharp. Maybe for someone, if it's about health, it could be some kind of injections. Sharp, yeah, something like that. So you decided. Maybe some decisions were made about people as well. Well, rats, yes, they can represent people. But I'd also say, I don't have that in Lenormand. Lenormand doesn't have that meaning. That's just how it plays out for me, as a tarot reader, a professional who has been working with tarot for a long time. For me, it shows up as spending and expenses on children. Maybe it was urgent. Something had to be bought for the children or taken care of. Well, we decided. Still, there are just some difficulties. Some kind of tension is always there. Well, you did cut something off. However, you still gain very important and useful experience. Some kind of value. At the same time, yes, there are expenses and costs, but there is value. For example, if we're talking about children, children really appreciate you. So, if something suddenly needed to be bought, decided, or done, yes, then children appreciate you. That's the family card then. Look, see, yes, here. It's just a mother's face here. I remember, yes, my mom did so much. That's me, just in case the kids are here. Still, if there was some negativity, for example, if you had to spend a lot of money to solve something urgent, well, so you could be reborn. This is the card of rebirth. Here, higher powers also helped you, but most likely, they pointed something out to you, showed you something unpleasant. Because you are the one being reborn. You are being reborn because of some of your karmic actions. But clearly, on other decks, yes, there are people standing up out of coffins. Something has ended. Or something could have ended, and not in a good way. But you, the higher powers, pointed it out to you. Look at this. Yes. Basically, you went through a rebirth here after something. Well, maybe, yes, there's also a kind of transition here. These are your relatives, your homeland. It could have been moves, trips. You had to make a sudden decision to move away from your homeland. Maybe even change your place of residence. The scariest thing, of course, is when the soul moves to another level. Well, you're the one still alive when someone close dies and moves to a new level. And it's clearly associated with major expenses. Well, you have to do it, whether you want to or not, whether you feel bad or not. You have to say your final goodbye. Yes, basically.
Um,
Well, you were reborn. Reborn. You were sent off. Kind of. Yes. And you are remembered, and will be remembered forever. Basically, souls are connected to you. That's how it is here. You see how it is here, but still, you did something. Well, that's what shook you. That's what brought you down. Well, now it turns out you've been reborn. Well, at the very least, your soul has been reborn. Well, yes. You were able to get back into something familiar, set your own rules, and actually form the key to hell and the key to heaven. That's the headspace. This is the Hierophant. You can even teach others. Yes, that's it. The tower, the headspace. Head, yes. I have some rules. 2 keys, the key to hell. I know that if I do or don't do something, there will be bad consequences. There are some rules, certain habits that you have. You know that there will be heaven on earth. Well, a certain kind of heaven. Of course, there is no heaven on earth. Yes. Sometimes we have the key to heaven, sometimes the key to hell. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad, and we're always trying to keep the balance. Here, the leader, the teacher, yes, we're trying to maintain that balance. Then here, yes, at least in a certain paradise, we feel some stability here. The family is good, yes, we are loved, respected, and valued. Something like that. Well, or like the head of the people. Yes, I am the head, and I make some decisions here. And everyone wants to know about these rules. Yes. Well, at least our children want to. Well, if you have children here, yes. Or people who are important to you, they appreciate you, yes. That you have done something here for them. Certain rules and habits exist here. And well, you've already been through it all already. I can't put it any other way. And you have this feeling that change is coming again. Changes are coming. And again, you have to change some rules, some habits. I don't know, God forbid, yes. Maybe, by the way, something is changing for your parents. If you have older family members, maybe you also have a feeling that something might change there too. Well, I don't know, maybe your parents will retire. And you will also need to, well, look after them too, right? Just like the head of the family. By the way, I don't even know. Something might change. Yes, you just have some kind of premonition here, that's all. Well, it's not for nothing that the dog card came up. It would have been better if it was the dog, but it turned out to be the snake. But it's cool too. It's just that it gives some worries, some premonitions. They don't call her a witch for nothing. Editor. See, she's a smart woman. She senses when something's off. So you know how to make decisions in advance. But you see, at the same time, you can also be tough, right? Just like that same snake. There are people who may not know you well for a long time. But, you see, someone here really, really values you. They even, you see, admire you. But someone might think that you're a bit tough. And you can answer sharply, well, the Queen of Swords. Cool. And as they say, your head is buzzing. Well, all right. Apparently, you're going through a period where you need to decide something. Decide. Just in case, yes. At least think things through. About ways out, or leaving somewhere. Let's see what's on your mind. If it resonates with you, well, we're still looking at you for now. What's on your mind? Is it you yourself, or is it really a woman? Look, it's a woman younger than you. Well, this is actually your significator. Well, here are two female significators. And she really could be, honestly, some woman. A woman who maybe told you something new, and now you need to think about it. And you need to nurture it, to grow it. And if you use it, if you make use of it, a child always brings growth and potential. But you also worry a lot, because it's not always suitable for us. Well, if you talk to someone here, maybe it's some kind of specialist, an accountant. I don't know. Or it's your daughter, right? Who told you something new. For example, she's getting married. Or she wants to have a baby. Or she's leaving her job. It's something new, it's promising, but it causes anxiety. Maybe, really, the child has grown up. She's now a young woman. And these are new opportunities, but the relationship is already moving into a new stage. A young woman, and she decides for herself how to grow. It could be a new stage of separation. In fact, the process of separating from our parents continues throughout our lives. It keeps moving to a new level again and again.
Yeah.
But as an option, maybe you received some news. The news is on your mind. And the news opens up possibilities. A child always opens up possibilities. Maybe the news is negative in nature. For example, that you need to upgrade your skills. Like you need to buy some kind of license. Or something else. That it gives you opportunities for growth. But for that, again, you need to do something. Take care of things. Imagine, for example, we want to grow in our profession. But for that, as they say, you need to work hard for several years, day and night, just like with a baby. Once a newborn arrives, if you just leave them on their own, will they grow or not? Of course not. They'll die if you don't take care of them. And this is what gives you thoughts, at the very least in your head, because after all, it's yours. What thoughts are the most intense? The peak thought, like some kind of peak. In your head. Well, there's definitely something promising here. Even if the news isn't great, you already know how to do something really well. But you need to take care of yourself. Maybe you have something new. Maybe you got some new things through which growth and development will come. Well, or it could actually be your children. It could be a new person, but that also takes time. I don't know. For example, a man, right? And then you're afraid to let someone into your garden, into your life, without knowing the rules that person lives by. He might be an interesting, promising person, yes, but you need to get to know him. Actually, whether to let him into your way of life, by the way, that's also possible. Yes. Because chores are still chores, to take care of things. If you take a regular deck for fortune-telling, a playing deck, then the Jack of Spades means troubles, and they might turn out to be pointless. You still need to handle things, since there's potential and effort is required. The world, you understand that there will be expansions, improvements, opportunities here. But if it's the world, yes, you need to learn about different points of view. That is, to find out what's happening in the world. For example, I have an opportunity, well, to buy an apartment somewhere else. My opportunities have expanded, yes. I don't know, maybe in another city, or to get a higher level job. But I need to hear another opinion, something different, to broaden all of this. Or maybe my child has some new opportunities. Yes, some growth. A trip. Maybe a new trip will bring some opportunities. There are opportunities, there's real expansion here, to make peace with someone, to come to an agreement. That is, a new person has appeared with whom I can come to an agreement. I see that this person hears and listens. Yes, I can come to an agreement with them. But I need to find out their opinion. And with the world here, there are 4 different opinions. Maybe they even have a different religion, a different view on work, a different outlook on life. Will we be able to come to an agreement, or will a conflict start? Yes. So maybe I can. If there's a war in your country, yes, it's constantly unclear what's going on. Some new laws, all sorts of horrors. It clearly affects your health badly. Maybe new ones. I can go somewhere and start a new life. But for that, I need to find something out. Well, in general, there are prospects here. Real prospects. I just explained it on a global scale, yes. But for some people, these are just little bits of news. But still, they are... Still, on a global scale, the transition is global anyway. I want to plan it in such a way that I don't let anyone down, don't deceive anyone, and don't stab myself in the back. To calculate everything so that I don't end up fall back into the past again. It seems like the past is still affecting you here, as if you missed something, didn't come to a full agreement, or didn't think something through completely. You know, in this life, it's impossible to account for everything. It's impossible to keep everything under control, even if someone's facing a matter of life and death. No one is truly immortal. Everyone eventually leaves this world. And everything in the world is always changing. You can't account for everything, or keep everything under control. Everything will change. Just like a child grows, you can't just put them in a box and say, "Don't grow, that's it. I'll always keep you under control." No, they grow and develop. A person, a business grows and develops. You can't stay at the same level. It will also develop in some direction and change. Maybe it's just a feeling of control. Well, what I can do? Yes. Of course, you need to calculate what is within your power. But excessive control, it's important not to slip into that here. Well, then it will be an illusion. That's self-deception. That's living in constant fear. Well, or just accept that I can't control something, or else I fall into selfishness, or fears will keep tormenting me all the time, that someone out there, it's impossible to put all people, everyone in jail, or keep them all on the same level. I started a business, built a house, did renovations. It's impossible. It will keep developing anyway, falling apart. The material world always falls apart. That's how it's always been, is, and will be. You just have to accept it. People change. Right now he wants to work. This client wants to come to you. But later he won't want to. He'll find someone else. That's why we change all the time, too. Yes, just like now. A child comes to you with a question, then later finds answers on their own, and eventually will get them from you themselves. And there's also a time when our children know much more than we do, and we start learning from them. And that's normal, too. So, let's just ask what this reminds you of. What's on the way? What's on the threshold? It's coming very, very soon. I'm shuffling a different deck. Well, okay. Oh, money, girls, money. Some kind of lucky coincidence. Maybe you'll make a good purchase. Or maybe some money will come your way. Don't put something off for too long. Maybe for someone. This card here says, don't put it off for too long. Maybe you'll get something at a good price. Or pay for something, or make a deal. Maybe with someone. Because this is an upcoming trip. Maybe you'll go somewhere. You can even earn money there. Or maybe a client will come. Don't put it off for too long. You'll get a financial offer. Maybe. so don't put it off for too long. This card always says that luck is coming your way. It's right at your doorstep. Don't put it off for too long. Well, maybe it's a meeting with a wealthy man. A man with money. Well, for example, when it comes to work, if you get a job offer, don't put it off for too long. You'll earn well. Otherwise, this offer might not be relevant anymore. Or maybe it's some kind of specialist who can solve something for you, who has appeared. This often shows successful meetings. For example, right now, yes. Look, what else can the snake show? Pipes, for example. Or it can show something dripping. I will successfully find a person who will replace them for me, or a good doctor, or something will work out without putting it off for a long time. Or, for example, wires, just like the snake. Yes, if there is a problem, for example, yes, that, for example, there is something in the house, or with the connection, a problem with something like that. That's it. Here you can meet someone at a good price. And the simplest option might be to get some really good offers, worthwhile purchases, or good money coming in. You can find someone useful here, or get some kind of benefit for yourself. It's right on your doorstep. But also, if you put it off for too long, you might miss out. For example, don't miss out. She also says to do it right away.
맞아.
It could be someone related to finances, maybe a financial advisor or some financial advice. But either way, it's something very profitable. Money will definitely come to you here. It may seem like a small amount, but it could actually be good money, and you still have to reel it in. Deep emotions, maybe someone will stir them up. I mean, well, it's still a profit. Look, fish, it's still a profit. It's just like when women dream about fish, right? It means profit. So, well, they also say it means pregnancy, right? So, well, it's profit. Don't put off this profit for later. So maybe you'll get a profit now and you can buy something for yourself or order something nice. If someone stirs up some emotions here, then it could be some man. Someone who stirs up your emotions. Emotions. This means good luck for you, yes. This really is good luck for you. Thank you. You can work something out or earn something. Wow, the Emperor. Well, something good. Again, yes. It will stir up some emotions to earn, to work through, to live together, to build something together, a business. To agree on something. By the way, a person can help preserve and grow it. It depends on what you have here. There are some concerns. Preserve it and grow it. Overall, something very good is coming. Can think analytically and knows how to preserve and grow. Yes. Well, if you delegate, for example, or pay, delegate authority. Maybe someone here is in love with the Emperor. A meeting is coming very soon. The Emperor again. I keep shuffling and shuffling, and some Emperor keeps coming up. Well, for someone, this is a business matter, because the money fell out right here. Someone has deep emotions. Maybe it's love after all, yes. But again, such deep emotions. Maybe you'll be afraid again to live with some man. Well, you might miss the opportunity then. Don't put it off for too long, that's how it sounds. Well, anyway, for me it's more about money somehow. But actually, when people live together, money is always involved too. There are some rules. You contribute this much, I pay for electricity, and you stay at home and wash the dishes. I don't know, yeah. Everyone has different rules. Because, what kind of rules do you have here, right? Maybe it can stir up deep feelings. And someone might think about it for a long time. And then, in general, you could lose it. That's what I think. but it mainly comes down to money.
Uh,
It's approaching you on the road. Changes are approaching, or maybe some trips. Again, a meeting is coming up. I'll say that you'll start it yourself. You'll start it if you haven't already. Thank you. If only this meeting hadn't happened. If you yourself, with someone, hadn't used this means of communication or transportation, hadn't talked to anyone, hadn't interacted with anyone, short trips, some brief calls, this means of communication or transportation, it directly brings either a trip or a meeting with someone to you. So you started it yourself, thank you. The consequences come through your actions. What consequences? Well, the ship changes something. Changes what? You would like to change something yourself, the card says. Those two just came together that way. You would like to change something yourself. That's why it's like the start of some kind of changes. Well, for some people, it will just be a call at home. You called somewhere, you talked to someone, you yourself wanted to talk. Wait at the doorstep, someone will answer you. A call back, a meeting, some kind of communication. Pretty exciting. Well, the one that, in your opinion, makes things better. Makes things better, you know? So you started it, right here. This is luck coming from higher powers. It means you did something good in your life. And here, luck is coming your way. Exactly. Maybe the higher powers are guiding a good person. Well, you kind of started it too, you know? But without you, it's like some higher powers are helping here. And this part is really you. If you hadn't called, done anything, gone anywhere, or found things out. But something good for your heart is coming. The changes are exciting, but good. You started them yourself. Maybe a trip. More broadly, it means going somewhere. Right. It's on the road. Maybe, look, you can also meet a man while traveling. Well, a man, maybe love, someone, right? Little hearts. If that's what you want while traveling. A meeting. For love, to ask about love. Well, then you've already set things in motion. You're expecting some kind of meeting. There you go, see, it's settled. I've already said, I've already written, I've already... So yes, then yes, for love, yes. Well, then you've already, like I said, you've already set this meeting in motion yourself. And if it's not for love, then you bought tickets. Well, just some papers, yes, tickets. You agreed, discussed it with someone, so it's happening. That's intense, intense. I really wanted this deep inside. Intuitively, yes, basically, and that's the situation here. So, let's look at these 3 cards. How will all of this turn out for you? With a return. With a return to something good. Maybe that's just how your heart feels. Something good will come back. Well, you won't be worried. I feel like there's some kind of anxiety coming from you here. Well, you'll return to a good state. It can also mean taking another trip. That may be how this ends. Going back to a place you've already been, done, yes. The dog is coming back. The return of a good friend. Like if you talked or communicated with someone, well, you started something yourself. Look, how you are coming towards each other. Yes, that's how it goes. Maybe a good friend will come back. It doesn't necessarily mean you parted ways with them. They'll come back. They were just busy with something, working, I don't know, socializing. And now they're back. Yes, because the dog is a good card. To return to a state that I like. To go back to where I enjoyed being. To return. Maybe not even to a place I liked. Well, for example, to go back to work, to earn money. Yes, it's hard. But that's exactly what brings me back to a good state. Yes, to a heartfelt one. To calm down. Let's put it that way. 10 of hearts, your heart will calm down. Although we have the next one coming up. What will calm your heart? Well, really, maybe it's some kind of work. Either you'll end up exactly where you hope to end up and had been thinking about. The anchor often just shows work, but also thoughts. It's no coincidence that the head came up. I thought about it for so long that I made it materialize. I talked about it, thought about it for a long time, did something. I was stopping emotional swings. Yes, with the anchor card, we work on ourselves so we don't freak out or quit. It's work. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're working. Like, at an actual job. Sometimes there's also the work of being a mom. I put in a lot, I did a lot. I hold myself back to avoid freaking out or giving up. Like moms who stay home with their kids. Yeah, a wife's work, working on something, working on yourself. I tried fitness. I don't know. I took medicine, vitamins. And you? Well, whatever your heart settles on, you'll end up where you rushed to. You dropped anchor. You focused your thoughts there. Thought about it for a long time. Did something. Someone visualized. Some kind of visualization. But it always comes through work.
To.
And we end up in some place we were thinking about. I hope you were thinking about something good, because your heart will calm down. Look, the 10 of Hearts. How will it all end? With the 10 of Hearts. And again, to calm down. To calm down is what you were working on. That's where you'll end up. What you were working on, that's where you'll end up. That's how it is. Your thoughts were at work. Well, your heart will calm down. That's good. Well, someone will just find some kind of job. Or they'll do some kind of inner work. They'll do some kind of work. There's also a snake here. Maybe you'll do some kind of work. For health, for example. Or maybe you'll even put up some kind of protection. The snake, yes, if we read it as the witch, like you're a witch. I did the work, and everything turned out just the way it should. It hit exactly where it needed to, yes. Well, or made a deal with someone. In general, the heart will calm down with the anchor. What does it mean for you, let's say, in a stronger sense? Well, anyway, the heart will calm down. Well, through actions. That you will be able to do something. The magician, I did it. Someone will stop the magic and shield themselves. And someone just managed to handle, to deal with some work or financial situation. Or work through something. I did it, that's all. On the new path, I was already able to do something. I ended up having all the tools I needed. What kind of tools? I had enough emotions, enough willpower, enough right thoughts, enough knowledge. I was able to come to an agreement with someone, to do something and get a result. That's it. That's it. And everything will be covered once this story ends. Well, maybe the card of power came up. Power, you will gain power. Let's say at first that for you, it's still about taking responsibility. Only I can do this. And I gain power. Through my actions, through the fact that I am responsible. This is extreme responsibility. Only I am responsible for this. That's why I do it. Well, or look, you gain power. It could be that a boss says, "Yes, I am hiring you." Some man who is very important to you. A husband, I don't know, someone else. You will gain power. Someone in authority will agree to something. Someone in power. Maybe you'll be able to use the law somehow to your advantage. It's not easy to prove, that is, to apply some laws. It's still about power. The authority card. Let's say there are still some authorities above us anyway, and they allow us to reach some of our own heights. Right? That is, the law allows it, but we still have to prove that we have the right to do it. For example, we have an education, let's say. We have a license for it. We pay taxes. And then the authorities allow us to do something. They see that we haven't deceived them, or that we don't deceive other people. That's why there are higher authorities. But you too, at the same time, I'm responsible for someone or something, and I succeed. Let's talk about your responsibility. Thank you. All of this will be handled through your sense of responsibility, and it's always given for the long term. You can close something, and it will remain with you for a long time. What do you believe in? That's what the card said. What you believe in. According to your faith, so it will be given to you. That's what you believe and where you're headed. If someone doesn't believe in something, like, I'll never be able to work at this job, they don't even try. Here, you believe you'll succeed at something, as your faith is, so it will be given to you. That's the story here. Honestly, your soul truly believes that everything will work out here. So, you will be able to bring all the tools together on a practical level so that you will really succeed. Because sometimes we lack faith, since we don't have anything to confirm it. Yes, there's no money, no job. We don't know how to negotiate. In general, you will find everything here. The right words, the inner strength you need. So I managed to gather everything together. Some money, material things, yes. Some people, knowledge. I gathered everything together. And by faith. So generally, you're going somewhere. There's that white horse. I believe in where I'm going. Here's Taurus on horseback. So that's where I invest. I know everything will work out there. Aha, here she is, the Queen of Swords. That's why you don't go soft. You can be tough with yourself and with others sometimes. For some reason, I see more of a work or financial story here, since it's the Queen of Swords. But for someone, it could really be about money, finances, and health to different degrees. Yes, where you have to keep an eye on everything. This story will be resolved through your sense of responsibility. And when you approach your life responsibly, what you get lasts for a long time. For example, I responsibly paid off all my loans. And that's it. I have a great story. Either I paid off my apartment or my car. And now I have this for a long time. For a long time. But the material world is not forever. That is, we can't take anything with us to the spiritual world, the world of the soul. Everything gets destroyed. If you approach it responsibly, offense, taking care of your material things. They are given to us for a long time. If I buy an apartment, I don't just wait for it to fall apart. I keep repairing it all the time. If I buy a beautiful dress, I wash it, I iron it. It lasts a long time. But it's the same with our body. We care for it, not poison it. It's ours for a long time. That's just how I am. Thank you for being with me today. It was a wonderful reading. It takes a bit of work, though, but it brings peace. Peace of mind. It's like when you've done the work and you go, whew, that feels good. My soul feels at ease. Everything worked out. Thank you. Come by more often. Stay a little longer. It would make me very, very happy. Please like and leave comments. See you next time.